Anything.
Up.
Here's the deal. Right now, they open at 10-point dogs against Maryland.
Who's Maryland beat? I didn't see that.
Howard, FIU, and UCF.
Maryland's beat Howard. Okay, and they barely beat UCF, but UCF's decent. Well, no,
and
they
the next
won
week,
10 last year.
and
That's
the
Scott
next
Frost.
week, and the next week they play Illinois.
Dude,
Purdue does. Illinois is terrible.
That's the name.
Scott Frost.
Scott Frost.
Illinois is terrible. Lost to North Carolina boat race. Lost to Western Michigan boat race. So anyway, Purdue opens up as a 10-point underdog at Maryland. So I'm going to tell you to do is gather up all your pennies and nickels and take everything you have, life insurance policies, savings, 401ks, retirement plans, and you put all your money you got on that plus 10 Purdue. And if you feel frisky, put a little bit on the money line. Because this is with my heart, so literally probably don't do that at all. That's a terrible idea.
I just want to throw this back. But by the way, in the middle, like at halftime of that Purdue game, you're like, oh, they're so shitty. Because weren't they losing?
They're down 14-10.
They're down 14-10. Oh, they're gonna give up 50. His sons of bitches can't.
So I'm gonna put a lot of money on Purdue.
Okay.
To cover, and this is, look, I'm 80-20 fire Darrell Hazel.
80-20 pro firing?
Yes. This will get me back to 50-50.
Put
me back on the fence if he wins. If he beats Illinois, look, here's the thing people don't understand. If he beats Maryland and Illinois, they're sitting at 4-1 and 2-0 in the conference. In the Big Ten West, which is a dumpster fire because Iowa's not good, Wisconsin's proven to be your best team. And
Nebraska's still in there. They're 4-0. Aren't they?
So Nebraska's in there, but I don't trust Mike Riley.
I don't know if they're quite. Yeah, I don't trust Mike Riley either.
So all of a sudden you go 4-1. Here's your schedule. If you beat Maryland, Illinois, here's your schedule. At home for Iowa, that's kind of a big game. If you're 4-1 and 2-0, that becomes a big game.
Yeah.
At Nebraska, that's a loss. Penn State, who's a dumpster fire at home.
It's a win.
At Minnesota, who's not good.
Yep.
Northwestern at home, who's not good. Wisconsin, that's a loss. At IU. So, and IU just lost to Wake Forest.
You can end up winning 9 games and beat everybody you're supposed to.
You can win 7 if you beat Maryland, Illinois, Penn State, Minnesota, Northwestern, IU.
Okay, so the toss-up games are Maryland, Illinois, Penn State, Minnesota, Northwestern, Indiana. So there's 6 toss-up games. If you go
and
win,
if you win 5 of the 6, that's 7 wins.
If you go win 4 of those, you're bowl eligible.
Yeah.
So, if you win 6 of them, all of a sudden you're 8-4. Holy shit. I'm actually all in on Purdue football, man. I'm just kind of rooting for the rebuild at this point. I'm in on it.
I think
I got to watch it every damn weekend, so I might as well.
Your next head coach.
This is going to be ridiculous, isn't it?
Is one of my favorite people.
PJ Fleck. Row the fucking boat, motherfucker.
I would go with by a guy we all know to come and love, Mr. Bo Pelini.
I would love if Bo Pelini were Purdue's head coach.
I would too.
I would fucking get a boner. It's so hard.
Because Kevin Sumlin would come home to West Lafayette Dreams not happening right now. They're 4-0.
They're 4-0. They're rolling. Wait till they got to roll in Alabama and get the fucking shit stomped out of them.
Well, Purdue, Maryland turned into a big game. It went from noon on ESPN News to that Big Ten Network 3:30 slot. So,
yeah, big.
Maryland's a 10-point favorite. I'm just telling you, if you want a betting line from a guy that doesn't know anything about betting and a lot about betting with his heart, put it on the Boilers.
Oh, by the way, people do think this is a sports picking podcast. So Smitty's betting with his heart here. And by the way, he doesn't actually bet on Purdue very often.
Guys, I made a lot of money on Purdue covering spreads because people think they're shitty, but they're not quite that shitty. They cover big spreads.
Oh, yeah, a lot of times.
I made $80 last year because they covered plus 24 in Iowa.
Yeah, well, it's Iowa, too.
If you get Purdue in a double-digit number, you take that double-digit number. If you get Purdue in the single digits, you stay away from that motherfucker because they want to come close to covering.
Yeah. So you just got to understand who your team is.
You got to understand. Well, they are who we thought they were.
I'm going to be honest.
And we let them off the hook.
I'm going to be honest. I put money on the Fighting Irish this weekend. And
speaking of college football teams.
Let me tell you. I thought 26, shit, man. They're going to come out pissed off. You're 1-2. They're just going to go put it on the Dukies at home, right? Just a ho-hum.
Offensively, they did.
45 to 15, 45 to 20. Somewhere in there. Somewhere between, 2 touchdowns and a field goal, or a touchdown and 3 field goals, somewhere in there. Just another win, right? No. They lose to Duke. In basically a game that they came out 14-0, came out ahead 14-0 quick, and then basically kind of shit the bed after that, especially defensively, because their defense makes me want to throw up. They can't tackle. They're confused. They're everything that is wrong with the defense. If I could find a fucking video of what not to do and play football on defense, I would show them Brian Van Gorder's 2016 Notre Dame defense. They have given up 40, I want to say it's an average of 48 points. 48 points. Not 48, I'm sorry. Average of 42. Yeah, 42 points to Power 5 teams. Or so it says. 41.3 to be honest with you. Versus Power 5 opponents. That is terrible defense, and Brian Van Gorder should be fired. And guess what? He is. He is gone. Every Notre Dame fan is happy as hell. However, we don't really know about the guy filling in. So we're just going to go from there. They do hire Greg Hudson, who we all know and we all know.
Don't love.
We don't know what it is. I do know this is he's a Notre Dame grad. His daughter goes there. He's been a defensive analyst for him. So I don't think that – I think when you look at it, and when I look at it, it makes sense for me. So you fire Brian Van Gorder. And by the way, this was not just a problem this year. They've been garbage for a solid – the last – Ohio State, they gave up big points. Every big game last year, we lost because of our defense because they can't stop anybody. That's not the Notre Dame football that I know and love. I know one of Bob Diaco, and you're tough, and you run the football, and you score. And on defense, you're tougher than nails, and you're gonna get to your run fits, and you're gonna put your neck on the line for every other one of your teammates. And they don't do that. That's probably the worst tackling performance I've ever seen out of a Notre Dame team, even of the shitty ones.
So, stat of the day. Notre Dame's defense has allowed national worst 5 plays of 60 yards or more this year.
Yeah.
Bob Diaco's defense has allowed that in 4 years.
Yeah, they're bad. Real bad on the defensive side of the football. Real bad.
Now, I will say, I'm not trying to remember.
Oh, by the way, they also lost to Michigan State in this time, and they just got boat raced by Michigan State and then made it late, came back and won it late. Came back and got in the game late, I guess, not won it. But so far, you've given up against Texas this year. You gave up 50. Against Michigan State, you gave up 36, and against Duke, you gave up 38. So it's an average of 41.9 against Power 5 opponents. And you got coming up here. Here's the deal: like if you beat Duke, even after Texas and Michigan State you lose those. If you beat Duke, you go to Syracuse, you get a win there. You get NC State, you get a win there. Stanford, maybe pull out a fucking miracle. Okay, whatever. In the last 5 games are Miami, Navy, Army, Virginia Tech, and USC. You still had a shot to win 10 games. The season wasn't over. But the season is over because that defense was atrocious. They're missing tackles left and right. They just can't tackle. That's bottom line. It looks like they're thinking too much. So, and I know Brian Van Gorder has his exotic blitzes and his NFL-style offense, and he runs a multiple formation schemes, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, well, clearly it's not working. Hell, just get in something and stay in it. Hell, I don't even care. I mean, just get good at one thing because they're not good at it. They're not good at anything right now. They're bad. It was so bad, the sack. Niles Morgan finally got a sack, and everybody went fucking nuts in the stadium. It's the first sack. That was their fourth game.
Yeah, first sack in game 4.
That was their 4th game.
Unbelievable. How?
And don't tell me. Here's the deal.
It felt like
don't tell me they're not talented. Fuck no.
It felt like a Purdue game where we were like, you got to stop. You didn't know what happened.
It's like when you're a shitty baseball team and you just cheer for every hit because you don't ever see them. It's like, ugh. That was bad. This is bad. So, Notre Dame, moving on. Is Brian Kelly to blame for this? Obviously, he has to be.
He's got to wear the hat.
Oh, he does. He's the head coach. I mean, but is he truly to blame at this? Because Kelly's a defensive guy anyway. That's what people don't understand. That's where he made his money.
That's where he would start out.
Yeah, he started out as a defensive coordinator, winning national championships in Division II, and then moving up, and then kind of moved to the offensive side of the ball when he was at Central Michigan, I think, or just started doing that. But he made his name coaching defense. So I don't know. I got some issues. So anyway, they hired Greg Hudson. We got off topic there. They hired Hudson, and just give you his numbers real quick on Purdue when he was there. On defense in 2013, they gave up 30.
He wasn't there in 2013.
Yeah, it was. 13, 14, 15.
They hired him in January of 13. Wait. So, yeah, that'd be I read that wrong.
Yeah.
That'd be fall 13.
That'd
Never
be
mind.
before, yeah. So 2013, gave up 38 points on offense, 459 yards per game. In 14, it was 31.7 points per game with 416 yards per game. And in 2015, it was 36.5 and 458.1 yards per game. So we're going to take those numbers and go, what the hell does that mean? Well, I watched a little Purdue football at this point in time in my life, and I know one thing. It's really, really hard to have a good defense when your offense is averaging. In 2013, their offense averaged 14.9 points per game and 282 yards of offense. Now, you may say, that's not real good, but that's not terrible. No. This isn't the NFL. This is a team that's trying to score. This is college football. You're trying to score 45, 50, 45 points. You got it. I think most of the offenses that win in college football, they're averaging 38 to 37 to 39 points a game. And that's a top production championship caliber defense. I understand there's Texas Techs out there who just try to outscore people and it doesn't exactly always work, or the Mike Leaches of the world out of Washington State. Score 60. Who the hell cared about playing defense? Well, that doesn't always work. So then in 2014, it was 23 points a game and 344 yards. And in 15, it was 25 points a game and 368 yards. Now, what that tells me a little bit is that, and I'm defending the defensive guy here, obviously, that's not real good offensive production. Not real great. Especially not in that division of the Big Ten, outside of when you're playing Iowa. There's other teams in that division that throw the football too. So I don't really know what it means. I can't really tell.
I will say...
You don't like him, right?
I will say Purdue fans hate him. Here's why. He struggled adjustment-wise. You could say what you want. His rushing numbers, I understand those might be bad. The last 2 years, he had a couple injuries in the linebacker core, and they're rebuilding. Linebacker has been an area of need, so they've struggled at linebacker. Passing-wise, though, people were disappointed by the sheer fact that...
But then I heard something today when I read it said the one thing he did right was their linebacker play got so much better.
No.
Somebody said that in an article. And that was...
It might have gotten better, but he had injuries, though. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so he
had last year, our best linebacker got hurt. So I'm saying take the rushing stats out.
The recruiting classes that
take the rushing out.
Few years. It was
bad. Look at the people were disappointed in was on the passing game. You had a decent defensive line. Purdue's always had a decent defensive line, and at 1 year he had two corners and a safety that are all currently playing pretty big snaps in the NFL, and he couldn't adjust. Bowling Green threw 50 times against us, and this is what got him fired. Is this game? Solely this game is what everybody pissed off.
When was this?
Is 2 years ago.
Okay.
Bowling Green came in and sat there and just banged us for 8-yard hitches all game. 3rd and 2. Here's the thing: every game it'd be 3rd and short, and our corners were 8 yards off the ball.
Yeah. Well,
schematically and adjustment wise, people. Like, even me, as somewhat of more than just a fan and a guy that's coaches defense.
I'm a bend, don't break kind of guy. So in high school football, yeah, that works, but I don't necessarily.
But 3rd and 2 at the college level, you're 8 yards off.
Yeah, press them up, man.
Especially
as much as it is open.
Now, I will say, people were excited when he was hired. Purdue fans were excited.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might be more of a. I think he'll simplify things.
I think that's what they need because I think they think too much.
Here's the thing: is I
think
part of his problem.
I'm not saying you have to be Manila.
Two things. First, I don't think Notre Dame has a choice.
No, you got.
Who else do you have to play to coach to be the defense coordinator? Second is, I think that Hudson was maybe too vanilla. because A, he was at Purdue and he felt like
I think he